It bears repeating that the Christianity of those enslaved and newly freed was very different from the religion of those who had attempted to oppose a distorted vision of faith upon them. Black Christians' belief system may have been structurally similar to that of whites, but it had a very different theological emphasis. I always say that those who were enslaved somehow managed to re-Christianize Christianity. They took a Christianity which basically said that they were less than human, that perhaps they did not even have souls, and that they were intended by God to be slaves, and turned it completely around because they knew that God was their God and was going to save them. The major aspect of Black Christian belief was embodied in the word freedom. For the African in America, as a slave, freedom meant release from bondage. After emancipation, it meant education, employment, and freedom of movement to the Negro. At the same time, freedom to African Americans through the centuries was communal in nature. The Black church was born in protest, tested in adversity, led by eloquent and courageous preachers. It was the cutting edge of the freedom movement during most of the 19th century. It had its beginnings in slavery, while its roots were in Africa. Efforts by Blacks to understand the horrible new circumstances in which they found themselves in the Americas led them to reassert their indigenous religious beliefs, while at the same time being drawn to new beliefs surrounding them on the plantations and farms and in the homes in which they found themselves captives. As I said, they did not simply accept the Christian faith handed to them or forced upon them by their overseers, but went beyond the superficial to the core of Christianity's affirmation of the freedom and equality of all human beings based on their creation by God, the Eternal Father. They built their own institutions, first invisible ones, and then in the hush harbors of slavery, and then later in the actual physical buildings of the two Methodist denominations as well as the Baptist Church. I'll end this section by simply saying the Black church emerges from the religious, cultural, and social experience of Black people. With its roots, as I said before, on the continent of Africa and the Middle Passage, the Black church provided structure and meaning for African people and their descendants in the Americas who struggled to survive the ravages and brutality of slavery and racial oppression. The Black church functioned as the center of Black life, culture, and heritage for much of the history of the African American experience in North America.